Okay, folks, welcome back. So, if you watched last episode, and I hope you did, it was maybe the most monumental moment in the plot thus far, and I think is a strong contender for maybe the best reveal in all of video game history. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go back and watch it. It's the shortest video I've done so far, so it's not a big investment of your time, and it's totally worth watching just to get you caught up to where we are. But the bottom line is that we came back to the Temple of Time. We met up with Sheik, who filled us in on some more details about what was going on, and then Sheik revealed himself to actually be Zelda in disguise this whole time. Zelda then outfitted us with our new fancy schmancy light arrows. Check this out, we can equip those now. Just the same as we can with the fire arrows, right? Right? Unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to equip the fire arrows in one slot and the light arrows in another slot. So if I try to go to C left, see it just swaps the item out. It won't let you have both, unfortunately. But there's not really any situation in the game in which you're going to need to swap those powers out quickly, I don't believe. But anyway, it's not that big of a deal if you do need to. But at any rate, Zelda bestowed upon us the gift of the light arrows. And as soon as she did that, Ganondorf then revealed himself, mysteriously as this ominous voice, and captured Zelda and told us that we had to basically confront him at his lair. So that's basically the last thing that there is to do plot-wise. But we're not quite ready for that. Again, we're going for a 100% completion run of this game, so there's just a couple of things left that we can do. The first thing that I want to just knock off the list right off the bat is, you will notice if we go to our quest status subscreen, look at this here. Ooh, 99 gold Skulltula tokens. Not bad at all. That means there are only one left, and I know exactly where it is. So why don't we go and grab that right now? And the reason that this was the last one on our list is because you actually aren't able to get to this gold Skulltula until you have the silver gauntlets. And as you may recall, the silver gauntlets are the first of 2 dungeon prizes in the Spirit Temple. So relatively late in the game. So that's why we had to wait a while. But what we're going to do is we're going to make our way to Zoras Fountain. And it's located just outside the entrance to the Great Fairies Fountain, where we originally got Furore's Wind, if you remember that. We got that just before entering Jabu Jabu's belly as a child, so it was quite a long time ago. And we haven't been up that way since we last needed to reach the Ice Cavern. Let's see what Nav's got to say here real quick. We have to save Princess Zelda from her imprisonment in Ganon's castle. I know, it seems like I'm shirking my duties as the hero of time, but I promise we'll get to it. Okay. I'm not going to do this, but it just occurred to me, I've never really pointed this out before, but in this circle of rocks here, if you play the Song of Storms, it opens up a hidden hole in the middle of these rocks, and you can go down in there and find a small chest that has, I believe it's a gold rupee. It's worth 200 rupees, so if you're hurting for rupees, you can find one in there. There's a bunch of locations like that with rings of rocks that you can do something in the middle of, either plant a bomb or sometimes hit it with your Megaton hammer, or very often it's playing the Song of Storms for some reason. Another location like that is the Ring of Rocks just outside the entrance to Goron City. There's also a gold rupee hidden in a hole there if you play the Song of Storms. Alrighty. And once again, we're going to have to play Zelda's Lullaby in order to get into Zora's domain. Okay. And just while I'm up this way, I better equip my Lens of Truth, because we're actually going to need that item as well It's not like 100% required, technically speaking, but again, like everything else with the Lens of Truth, it is theoretically possible to go through the whole game without the Lens of Truth if you practice a lot and memorize locations and patterns and stuff like that, but even to an extremely well-seasoned expert, it is extremely difficult. So there's not really any reason not to use it. Alright, what I'm actually going to do here too, real quick, is turn it to nighttime, because this particular gold Skulltula only appears at night. Which seems a little counterintuitive, because it's actually kind of inside a hidden cavern, sort of. Although it's not like a separate area, though. You'll see what I mean in a second here. So we're just going to come over this way. And right over here, right? Oh, that's neat too. Since we haven't been up this way since beating the water temple, and now it looks like it's kind of thawed out. Like there's still some ice flows there and stuff like that, but it's not like snowing and stuff, and at least the color scheme has changed. Anyway, I'm gonna take care of this guy here. Just oh my goodness, my aim is not very true today. All right, so this is the entrance here to obviously the Great Fairy's Fountain, if you'll remember. And in order to gain access to this Great Fairy's Fountain, we had to place a bomb here. Originally, this was all a wall, right? We had to place a bomb here, blew up the wall. But you may remember that after all this time, it's still been here. We blew up the wall except for this one boulder. And we couldn't do anything about that boulder. And even with, never mind bombs, even with a Megaton Hammer. Megaton Hammer isn't even strong enough to break that kind of a darker gray boulder like that. But now that we have the Silver Gauntlets, we're actually strong enough, believe it or not, check this shit out, to grab and lift it. Oh, look at that. Now, we unfortunately aren't able to walk or move around while we're holding it. It's that heavy. But we are able to throw it. And look at that. Hidden hole. So, very sneaky. We'll just drop down in here. Oop. Oh, okay. Let's maneuver carefully here. Okay, there we go. And what we can do now is, if we activate our Lens of Truth, we'll see hidden big Skulltulas. So we will take these out. Alright. And I guess that's really all that we needed the Lens of Truth for, was just to be able to see those enemies. And now that we've gotten to the end of the cavern here, we can climb these steps, and up at the top we'll be waiting the gold Skulltula in question. And this will finally put an end. Oh, there's one more here. Will finally put an end at long last to this whole huge side quest. There we go. You ready for this? Here we go. Alright. It doesn't actually give you a separate message or anything special like that, but, and let's check this out here. Woo! 100 gold Skulltula tokens. Alright. Not too shabby. So, we can change it back to daytime now. And also, I'll show you what the prize is that we get for this feat now. We can do, let me think here. We'll use the Nocturne of Shadow to take us back to the graveyard. That's the quickest way back to Kakariko Village. And what I'm going to do while I'm in the village, first thing, is I'm going to load up on some extra inventory that I might be short on. Well, I'm not short on arrows or bombs. Could use a couple of extra bomb chew, but you can't buy those in town, so it looks like there's not really much for me to buy anyway, it looks like. But, let's see here. We might be able to get something of use. Also, I've never pointed this out either, but speaking of hidden areas that you can bomb or play songs to find or whatever, All this time, there's actually been a hidden grotto right in the middle of the courtyard, right here in Kakariko Village. Right around here. If you had a rumble pack or rumble feature equipped after getting the Stone of Agony, you would have felt a rumble as you walked around here. If you place a bomb right here in the middle, you'll open up a hole, and in the middle there, in the grotto, will be a chest with, again, a gold rupee. While I'm here, I guess I can buy some Deku Nuts. I don't know, I don't really need anything else. How many Deku Nuts do I need here? Oh, I can still carry like another... Can you buy Deku Seeds here? No. I can buy sticks, but I don't need sticks. So we'll buy like another 10 nuts. I think that ought to max us out. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. And obviously we can't get magic beans anymore because there's only so many to be sold, and we bought and planted them all already anyway. Alright, so that cleaned us out of 60 rupees. Now you might be wondering, Jordan, why did you bother just wasting those rupees? But I just figured I may as well, because herein lies the ultimate final prize. Look at this. Remember how we freed all of the Skulltula children, one by one, all 5 of them? Well, now, the father has finally been freed of the curse. Alright, let's talk to him. Since you've destroyed 100 spiders of the curse on me has been broken. Thank you. Here is a token of my appreciation. Please take it. Look at that. Huge rupee. This rupee is worth a whopping 200 rupees. Alright, so you can see there, because he was going to give me money for nothing anyway, I may as well wasted it, and the money that I had, and bought something nice for myself. Now, the nice thing about that, though, you might be thinking, okay, well, that's not a bad prize, but still, though, like, that was a lot of work to go to, collecting all 100 gold Skulltula tokens just for a gold rupee, when you can find a gold rupee in any number of places throughout Hyrule. Well, here's kind of the sweetener to this prize, is that there's no limit to how many times you can collect that prize. All you gotta do is leave, and then go back in and talk to him again, and he'll give you another gold rupee every single time you re-enter. So it's kind of like a bottomless fountain of cash. Well, you know what, I'm not going to waste the bomb, but just take my word for it, you can bomb, and there's a hidden hole here in the middle. Okay, so we finally got that out of the way. Moving on. There's just a couple more little things that we can do before heading to Ganon's castle. First, let's call Epona. And we're going to want her to traverse back to Gerudo Valley. And beyond that, the Gerudo's hideout. To do just a couple of extra little tasks. So the first of which is the third and final mini dungeon. Of course, if you're, I'm not even sure if it really is 3 if you're keeping track. I mean, I guess there's Under the Well and the Ice Cavern. And then there's where we're going is the Gerudo Training Grounds. I pointed out where it was, but I didn't want to go in there just yet because we hadn't yet got the Silver Gauntlets. And again, you don't need the Silver Gauntlets, absolutely, but it does help a lot. But also, we haven't been this way since we rescued all the carpenters. Look at this! The bridge crossing the valley has been completed. Remember how we freed all of the carpenters from their prison cells in the thieves' hideout? Well, after we freed them all, remember they made kind of a vague reference to the fact that they were going to repay the favor somehow for freeing us. Well, that's how they did it. I'm just going to turn it back to day here. Yeah, we didn't notice that that's what our prize was until just now, because after we were done in the desert, we just played the Prelude of Light to warp our way all the way back to the Temple of Time. We never bothered actually traversing back this way by foot. And in fact, I don't think that you really could come back on foot from the Desert Colossus this way anyway. It's kind of like a one-way street, because you can cross through the Haunted Wasteland one way, but coming back you'll always kind of get lost. But anyway, so here we are, back at where the sign said here, Gerudo Trading Ground, only registered members are allowed. And that includes us. Alright, so we talked to this lady here. This is the Gerudo's Training Ground. You don't say. Membership card verified. One try for 10 rupees. So we click try. Alright. I'll take your 10 rupees. Give it your best shot. The nice thing about this, though, is that it kind of makes it sound as though you got to pay 10 rupees every time you want to make an attempt. And really all it is 10 rupees just to unlock the gate. And once the gate is opened, now you have free unlimited access. So you can come and go as you please. But anywho, this is it.
Hey!